You know when you look at a medical bill and see that jumble of letters and numbers like I-10 or N18.9, it looks like total nonsense, right? But it's not. It's actually a secret language, a code that tells the complete story of your health. And today, we're going to crack it.
No, really, think about it. Every single health issue, from a common cold to a complex, lifelong condition, all boiled down to a short, precise code. It sounds a little like science fiction, but it is absolutely real, and this system, well, it's the invisible engine that makes our entire healthcare world run.
And here it is. This is the master key to the whole secret language, the ICD-10-CM. That's a mouthful, I know. It stands for the International Classification of Diseases, 10th Revision, Clinical Modification. But here's the important part. This is the universal translator for medicine. It means a doctor in Tokyo and a doctor in Toronto can look at the exact same code and understand the exact same diagnosis.
Okay, to really get how this works, let's stop talking about abstract systems. Let's talk about a person. We're going to follow the medical journey of a patient we'll call Jane, and we'll see exactly how her story gets written in the language of ICD-10.
So Jane's story starts with something a lot of us are familiar with, hypertension, which is, just the fancy medical term for high blood pressure. For years, that's the main chapter in her medical file, just one single, consistent fact. But, as we all know, stories have a way of getting more complicated, don't they?
So, over the years, Jane's high blood pressure has started to take a toll. It's beginning to affect her kidneys, which means a new diagnosis. And this is where a single, simple code just isn't going to cut it anymore. Her story has a new plot twist, and the code has to keep up.
So how do you code this new development? Well, in the world of ICD-10, just saying kidney disease is kind of like saying a book is about a person. I mean, it tells you almost nothing, right? This system is all about precision. It's designed to paint a crystal clear picture of exactly what is going on inside the body.
So the first big question is this a sudden, out-of-the-blue problem, or is it something that's been developing over a long time? Since Jane's kidney issues are directly linked to her long-standing hypertension, it's a chronic condition. So her diagnosis is chronic kidney disease, or CKD for short. Okay, that's our first piece of the puzzle.
But wait, it gets even more specific. It's not just chronic kidney disease. As you can see, CKD is broken down into 5 distinct stages. This is so smart because it turns a static diagnosis into a dynamic timeline. A doctor can see not just what Jane has, but exactly where she is in her journey with the disease, from stage 1 all the way to stage 5. The code actually changes as her condition evolves.
And here's where the system gets really clever. The ICD-10 doesn't just see 2 separate problems, hypertension over here and kidney disease over there. No, it's built to understand that one often causes the other. It assumes there's a link, which means the coding itself can connect the dots for the doctors.
So let's put all the pieces together. We have the cause, which is the hypertension. We have the condition, chronic kidney disease, and we have the severity, stage 4. We've gone from a simple starting point to a highly detailed medical narrative. And a story that complete needs a combination of codes to tell it right.
And here's how they do it. It's not one giant supercode. It's a team effort. You have the first code, I-12.9, which basically says, hey, this is kidney disease caused by hypertension. Then you add a second code, N18.4, which chimes in with, and by the way, it's at stage 4. See, together, those 2 simple-looking codes tell a complex and perfectly accurate story.
But a diagnosis isn't the end of the story, is it? It's really just the beginning of the next chapter, the treatment. So how does our secret language handle, though, what we do next part? The coding system has to track the action, too.
Unfortunately for Jane, her story takes another turn. Her condition progresses to what's known as end-stage renal disease, which basically means her kidneys have all but shut down. To survive, she needs hemodialysis, a procedure where a machine does the work her kidneys can't. Now, to do this long-term, doctors need a really durable way to access the bloodstream, so they perform a procedure to create something called an artery-venous fistula. It's basically a surgically created superhighway between an artery and a vein that makes dialysis much easier and safer. And, you guessed it, even this very specific preparatory surgery has its own unique code, 03180J3. The level of detail is just incredible.
Okay, so we've been following Jane's very specific journey, told in code. But now, let's zoom out. Why go through all this trouble? In the grand scheme of things, why does this incredibly detailed system of codes actually matter?
Because here's the thing, Jane's story isn't just her story. When her coded data gets combined with millions of others, it becomes this unbelievably powerful tool. Yes, of course, it makes sure billing is accurate, but that is just scratching the surface. This data allows scientists to spot patterns in diseases across entire populations. It helps public health officials track a flu outbreak in real time or figure out where to build a new clinic. Each tiny code, when multiplied by millions, gives us this incredible, God's-eye view of our collective health.
So the next time you glance at an insurance form or a medical bill and see one of those strange-looking codes like I12.9 or N18.4, I hope you don't just see a string of characters for a computer. Remember Jane. Remember that it's a word, a sentence, a chapter in a very human story. So what story will you see?